More parties finalize primaries as Atiku emerges ADC flag bearer. From Abuja to Port Harcourt, from Kano to Lagos, Nigeria political battlefield is now taking shape. While Atiku Abubakar secured the ADC ticket, Tinubu tightened his grip on APC. PDP settled for Senator Sandy Onor. Sowore returned for AAC. And all eyes are now on Peter Obi as he may likely emerge as the NDC presidential candidate. Who holds the strongest structures? Who carries the momentum of the day? And which candidate truly stand a chance against the ruling president Tinubu in 2027? This is a political update on Trumpet TV. Good evening and welcome to yet another edition. I am your host, Oba Siva. Tonight, Nigeria political atmosphere is becoming clearer as major political party concludes their presidential primaries ahead of the 2027 general election. The African Democratic Congress ADC has officially produced former President Atiku Abubakar as its presidential candidate for the party. The ruling All Progressive Congress APC has once again handed President Bola Tinubu his presidential ticket. The PDP, People Democratic Party, has settled for Senator Sandy Onor. The African Action Congress AAC have retained its former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore as its presidential candidate. And from all indication, the new Democratic Congress NDC may soon present Peter Obi as its presidential candidate. Tonight, we will examine how this candidate emerged, what their emergence means politically to the 2027 general election, and let us begin right on with the ADC. The African Democratic Congress ADC, where the former President Atiku Abubakar emerged as a party presidential candidate after so many weeks of intense negotiation and internal consultation. Atiku emergence did not come as a complete surprise for many, because from the beginning, he entered the race with so much strong political structure inside the party. He enjoys strong support from the northern delegates, former governors, and influential party stakeholders who believe that Atiku's experience and national network gives ADC its best chance against the ruling APC. Sources within the party say that the final negotiation involves strategic concession to SATA bloc and assurance about inclusivity within the campaign structure. Rotimi Amechi reportedly pushed strongly for internal reform within the party and created certain participation before the primaries. What helped Atiku, however, was his long-standing political machineries. Despite criticism from many opponents, Atiku remained one of the most experienced coalition builders in modern-day Nigerian politics. But many believe that his personal ambition have complicated the coalition's success. He has contested multiple times for the presidential elections, and still, he commands a lot of political influence across northern Nigeria. Atiku won because he has the strongest northern structure, coalition experience, delegate support, strong financial capability, and an existing national network. But his emergence also raised a very familiar question. Can Atiku Abubakar finally unite opposition forces under one platform? Can he avoid the fragmentation that weakened the opposition vote in 2023? And perhaps, more importantly, can he convince younger voters that he represents political renewal rather than old political establishment? Well, already critics argue that ADC may simply be repeating the same political formula under a different name. Supporters, however, insist that Atiku offers experience, stability, and national reach at a time of economic hardship and political uncertainty. What becomes critical now is his running mate. ADC insiders says that conversations are already ongoing within the Southern political bloc, especially within the Southeast and the South-South geopolitical zone. Names reportedly under consideration include former governors and experienced service senators capable of balancing regional interests. Meanwhile, the ruling APC have officially returned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as its presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. Unlike opposition parties struggling with coalition management and internal disputes, APC entered its convention with remarkable unity. President Tinubu faced little resistance. Party governors, ministers, and lawmakers presented his candidacy as necessary for continuity and political stability. APC message to Nigeria is that of continuity, economic reform, infrastructural project and development, stability, and party unity. Tinubu's supporter argues that his administration inherited serious economic challenges and that the current reform requires more time to produce results. They point to the ongoing infrastructural project, tax reform, foreign investment discussion, and renewed security operation as evidence of the progress. However, opposition parties remain unconvinced. Rising inflation, unemployment, insecurity, and cost of living pressure continue to dominate public discussion. Still, politically, Tinubu entered the race from a position of strength and not of weakness. He controlled the ruling party structures, he enjoys support from most APC governors, and benefits from a incumbency advantage. Another major advantage is the division of the opposition. If the opposition party fails to unite behind a single strong platform, APC could once again benefit from split opposition votes. And that may become the defining moment or factor for the 2027. Now to the PDP. PDP, in what many describe as an attempt to present a fresh face, the PDP has chosen Senator Sandy Onor as its presidential candidate. The emergence of Senator Onor reflects the party effort to rebuild after years of internal crisis, repeated electoral setback. Party leader reportedly pushed for a candidate viewed as less divisive and capable of reconciling the PDP with the young voters and certain political interests. But the challenge becomes the PDP more enormous. Several influential figures have either left the party or distanced themselves from its leadership structure. The Wike-Makinde divide continues to create tension within various states. However, many voters still question whether the PDP has fully recovered from its internal battle after the 2023 general election. Still, supporters believe that Senator Onor images offers the party yet another opportunity to reset its image. Whether that translates into national momentum remains uncertain. On the other hand, the African Action Congress AAC has once again presented Omoyele Sowore as its presidential candidate. For Sowore and the AAC, the strategy remains the same and consistent. Position the party as a voice of radical reform, youth activism, anti-establishment politics. Sowore have continued to maintain strong visibility among activist circles and politically conscious young Nigeria. His campaign is expected to focus heavily on corruption, governance accountability, unemployment, and social justice. But AAC still faces a major structural limitation. The party lacks nationwide political machineries compared to the APC or ADC. Funding challenge is yet another challenge for the ADC, and limited grassroots structure remain a major obstacle. Yet, Sowore persistence has helped AAC maintain ideological identity in a political environment often dominated by allied political negotiation. For many young supporters, that consistency remains valuable. Now to the NDC. Perhaps the most closely watched political movement for the day is the growing momentum around the New Democratic Congress, ANDC. Although the party has not formally concluded its presidential primaries, strong indications suggest that Peter Obi is positioned to emerge as its presidential candidate. Obi movement into NDC has already triggered fresh political calculation nationwide. After leaving the Labour Party and party coalition arrangement and distancing himself from ADC dispute, Obi appeared determined to build a fresh political structure around the NDC platform. Rabiu Musa Kwakwaso's alignment with the party has further strengthened Northern visibility for the movement. However, but there are some few obstacles for the NDC. NDC is still a developing political structure. Building world-level organization nationwide within a limited time requires enormous funding, discipline, and coordination. Another challenge before the NDC is Northern acceptability. While Obi enjoys strong urban support, translating popularity into broad political, rural, Northern political dominance remains a difficult task. Yes, Kwakwaso's experience has helped in a significant way, but elections in Nigeria are won through extensive grassroots mobilization, not just mere social media momentums alone. Still, Obi remains one of the most popular opposition figures in the country, and his eventual emergence under the NDC could shape the entire opposition calculation within a short period of time. For now, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The 2027 presidential election is no longer theoretical. It is no longer shaping rapidly. President Tinubu entered as incumbent with full machineries of the APC. Atiku Abubakar lead ADC with experience and Northern political strength. Peter Obi and the emergence of NDC hope to convert public momentum into national structure. PDP seek reinvention through Senator Sandy Onor. And for Sowore, continues to push as a protest-style alternative through the AAC. But beyond party slogans and campaign rallies, Nigeria will ultimately ask one central question: who truly understands the hardship facing the ordinary citizen? That question may determine 2027 general election more than political alliance or convention speeches. That is all we have for this week, and thank you for keeping a date with us on Political Update on Trumpet TV. Until next week, we will bring you yet another deep analysis of our political structure. I remain your host, Oba Siva. Good night.